So, Ihmir Smith-Marsette to the Minnesota Vikings. In my opinion, the Vikings continue to have a very good draft, getting really good value sort of later in this draft, and I think making smart picks. And they could have really used a third wide receiver. I mean, Chad Beebe had a moment or two, but as a whole, getting a third receiver is vital. And actually, what's interesting about Smith-Marsette is he's probably the only guy left that I really trust to win on the outside with some consistency. I'm not saying he'll do it too much, but he can. So, you can have sort of a situation where you can put Jefferson in the slot if you want and have him play on the outside, which is kind of deadly. And I'm not sure anyone else would give you that luxury. And I also just think that it's a great value pick. They do need, I think a lot of people talk about how in the analytics community, they say that typically what's more important than having just two really good receivers is you need that third receiver. You want to have three options. And, obviously to have Adam Thielen, to have Jefferson. So getting that third receiver in Smith-Marsette makes a lot of sense. And, it'll be a lot of weapons for Kellen Mond to throw to. No, I'm a little bit kidding, a little bit serious because I like Kellen Mond. But the reality is, obviously, Cousins will be the guy. And he's in a great situation. Darisaw, they get Smith-Marsette. They've also improved their defense greatly. Trading down, getting all of these picks. I mean, they're picking basically every other pick, it seems like. So you're going to get some good ones. Smith-Marsette, I think, is a great one. So, okay, enough of me rambling. Let's jump into the film study. So we'll start off with this play. What's going to end up happening is that it's a cover 2 zone, and you see the route that Smith-Marsette is running. So there's kind of two ways this play could work. Either you could kind of get open, just past the corner who's covering the middle of the field, but before you get to the safety who's deep. That's one way this could work. It also could just be like if you somehow run by the safety, but that's not really important. Mainly, the way this is probably going to work is just getting in between that gap right there. But in order to do it, the cornerback in that area has to be able to make a smart read here. So watch how when Smith-Marsette runs his route, see this little fake as though he's going, to the outside, which that's so important. That means so much in this route. It seems like a very small, simple thing, but just doing something like that can get the corner to move in a little bit, which now can allow you to run by him and get, way more open than it would have had he just ran a normal route. And then as you see, he does run. He is going to get into the gap, and he makes that catch. So, a really good play, good route running. I think good job making the grab, man. Good speed. There's a lot to like about this guy, and that's why I keep pounding the table. He can play. He is someone who, he might not be a first-round pick, but he is someone who you should definitely be excited about being on your team. He can be a starting wide receiver. This play is another good example. He's going up one-on-one against the Penn State player who I have in that little box right there. And again, it's footwork paired with speed. That's what he has. And this one's going to show that off in a big way. Now, I mean, his 40 is a 4.43, which sounds good, even though that's actually pro day time. So it's a little bit not quite as good. So maybe that's a concern. But that's still fine. If it's a 4.53, you can definitely work with that. But especially when his footwork is as good as his footwork is. Watch, right when this play starts, you notice how he gets that defensive back to move in and then get to the outside. So now he's in a great spot. I mean, look at how far he got that defensive back to move in, and his hips are turned the wrong way right now. So Smith-Marsette, just great footwork right there. But that's only half the battle, of course. Good job. You got yourself in position where potentially this can work out. But your quarterback now has to make the throw, and it's actually going to be a bit underthrown. However, watch him sort of stay back, and he does go up, make that grab. Really good play, so he can make a contested catch, and he has the footwork. Again, there's just so much to like about him. He can play. He's a number 1 or 2 receiver. There's no doubt about it in my mind. He's a top 2 receiver on a team for the most part. I mean, he's really good. Like right here. So what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be a cover 1 play. So this is kind of what I'm talking about when I like to talk about guys who can win on the outside. This is that situation that you want someone who can win on the outside. When there's only one safety deep, man coverage, a lot of teams in the NFL like to do this now. So you have to have a receiver who can just win on the outside, and that is something that Smith-Marsette can do. Watch this, just clean release. He's going to get to the outside and is able to track the ball well and make a good catch. Really good throw on that one too. So, those things do kind of go hand in hand. Sometimes a player's highlight reel is going to be filled with good throws. Sometimes they're filled with bad throws if they have, good contested catch ability, which Smith-Marsette does, so that's also part of it. But you know, just showing that, hey, if you make an accurate throw, he's someone who he'll give you a window to hit. It might not be as big of a window as, you know, some other guys. I think Jamar Chase probably has a bigger window, right? But at the same time, there certainly is a window there. There's also something like this, where similar idea. This time he's the number 2 receiver on the play, which means second closest to the sideline. But similar idea, getting to the outside, going away from the safety over in the middle. But one slight thing he's going to do, one slight twist, is he's going to do something fun at the line where he's going to fake as though he's going to the inside and then get to the outside. And so watch how just this kind of a 2-step move right there, and just like that, he's wide open. And again, comes back and makes the play a bit underthrown, but he can adjust very well and still make a catch like that. So yeah, I mean, he just does such a great job on those plays, especially when there's a single safety deep, him getting deep, being able to adjust, being able to make the plays like that. That is what I like. For the most part, I would say that's probably his best attribute. Like, we'll show one more. I guess one thing you could argue that is a bit concerning is that will all of these work in the NFL? It's hard to say. I think some of them probably won't, to be honest, but some of them certainly will. And again, I do feel like there's a very high floor for Smith-Marsette. There might not be the ceiling that's there for a lot of the guys who got drafted ahead of him, but there is a high floor. So that's kind of why you draft him, just because he's someone who he's a day one starter to me. He is. But yeah, this play, exact same thing, but he's going to do it a little bit differently than the last ones I've shown, where again, it's going to really come down to footwork. See how he fakes as though he's going to the left and then does go to the left. So kind of a little fun play right there, but now there's an issue. So now there's safety help over the top, which, you know, a smart play. Double the guy who keeps winning on one-on-one matchups like that. I get it. So it's going to take the throw right here. You can't really just throw it the way you would want to because of the safety help over the top. The right strategy, which I'm not sure if this was just a missed throw or if this was intentional, but the right strategy is to make Smith-Marsette kind of have to make a tough catch. Make him make a jumping or diving catch. That's what you want to do right here, because that way, either it'll be a catch and a touchdown, or it'll just fall incomplete. Whereas if you were to throw it a little bit lower, that's how deflections and interceptions can happen. But also, watch how Smith-Marsette is able to make a great jumping, diving catch for a touchdown. So, really athletic play right there. He makes a lot of really good plays. So, he's someone who can win on the outside. And if that's what you value, that's where his value comes in. There's absolutely value in him. And this is kind of why guys like him, it's just kind of why I always say, like, don't spend a top 10 pick on a wide receiver, because you can get a really good wide receiver, you know, anywhere from picks like 20 to even in the 3rd round. There's going to be good wide receivers. So even later in some scenarios. So yeah, there's a lot to like about Ihmir Smith-Marsette, I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.